Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. So, today it's Wednesday, and we are going to start our presentation about the technology, SkyWay technology, and I would like to ask first that maybe you can write in the conversation chat if you can hear me well. You can find it on the left side. Under the participants, there is a conversation chat box. So if you hear me fine, say hello or type plus or just let me know. Yes. All right, thank you. I can see that. Thanks, Martin. Yes, very good. So let's begin. First, a little bit about myself, and then we continue with the presentation. So my name is Mihkel, and I have been with SkyWay for past 3 years, actually. Time flies, so to say, and I've been investor also that time. At first, of course, when I received information about SkyWay technology and about the second level string transportation technology and what are its benefits and so on, I was quite amazed because I was looking toward this new area or this new generation technology for some time, because I knew that it's very difficult to face the challenges or to solve these challenges that that are ahead of us. So in time when the population is growing, and actually already there are multiple problems with transportation in many countries, even in Europe, we can see this in most of the bigger cities, where for example, let's say, I hope you have been in Paris. Then in the mornings when people are rushing to work, also in the evenings when they're going back to home, it's possible to see tremendous traffic jams, which basically, when I spoke with one Frenchman, one person who I know from Paris, then he said that it takes approximately 2.5 hours for him to get back home when he's driving with car. So he lives in suburbs, not very far from the city center, but he works in the city center with the government of Paris or the France government, and he said it's the problem is very big. And it's not only in Paris, but in most of the bigger cities. And as we know, there are already the technologies supporting the infrastructure, for example, like trains or trams or metros, underground systems, buses, of course, taxis, cars. But the problem still exists, and it's getting heavier and heavier because there is no great solution yet to serve all these people that are living in the towns. And what is great news is that today we have this technology. This technology has been developed itself for a while now, actually more than 40 years. Because as we know, the SkyWay is, well, the SkyWay as a company or as a startup company is not that old. Only 5 years ago it was when we got our first land plot to start constructing the structures on the Mediterranean posts and support posts, and the track, so to say, the rails above the ground. It was only 5 years ago when this all started. But today we have achieved a lot within that time. We have 11 different transportation types, and the development goes on very actively, both in Belarus, where is the Eco TechnoPark, and also the United Arab Emirates, where there is in Sharjah there is a great innovation park where they are actively developing also new transportation technologies. But all right, today we continue with the news at first. Then let's see how much time we have left after the news, and maybe I can get the glimpse a little bit more about the brief history about SkyWay. I already told you some, but with exact data as well. So first of all, what is a great recent news is that Arab media announced a plan of the SkyWay targeted projects in the United Arab Emirates, and this news was presented in the local TV station in the town called Khor Fakkan, and they released a report on the first proposed SkyWay targeted project in the Emirates of Sharjah. As we know, there already is one project signed by the United Arab Emirates Prime Minister, who is also a ruler of Dubai. That one is the 15-kilometer track, which has 21 stations. Yes, but this one now is the first targeted project in Emirate of Sharjah, where also is the Innovation Center. And the report was aired on television on 14th December, and the following day, the information about the project appeared on the Instagram account as well of the station Khor Fakkan News Network. And according to the news, the proposed track will pass through the small tourist town of Khor Fakkan in the Emirates of Sharjah with a population of 18,000 people. And the track could be 10.6 kilometers long, and 5 stations along the route are to be lined with important for the town landmarks. So there will be some historic dam and monument where will the stations be, also at the beach, or well, not at the beach, but along the beach, and through the down to Al-Sahrawi Street. And the final station of the route is planned to be built in the area of the palace of the Emir of Sharjah, the Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi. He also was, not so recently, but last year, he also was in the Innovation Center, visited there and saw everything with his own eyes. And what is more great about this news is that the time for the journey is about 10 minutes, including boarding and deboarding. And the similar route by car now takes about 20 to 25 minutes. So it's half that time, which usually takes up with a car. So yes, that's about it right now. Now, the second news I would like to tell you about is this is one of the main Russian business publication websites, the Kommersant, and it has released the materials with the result of work achieved by the SkyWay company Unitsky String Technologies in 2020. So last year achievements, and according to Nadezhda Gozareva, who is the beautiful wife of Anatoly Unitsky, the creator of SkyWay technology, and she is also a general director of Unitsky String Technologies. So what she said is that the main achievement was the transition to mass production and open sales in the international market. And in 2020, the 400-meter light track was completed in the SkyWay Innovation Center in Sharjah, which means that next year, she said next year, that meaning 2021, the company will be able to offer the Middle Eastern market the ready transport systems adapted to work in hot climate. So as we know, why SkyWay needs many testing tracks or testing areas, as I previously said, that the first one is in Belarus, the second one is in Sharjah. The Belarus one is meant for Russian standards, Belarus standards, also Kazakhstan, the eastern side countries. But in Sharjah, in United Arab Emirates, that's meant for tropical climates where there is very hot. There is a lot of sand in the air, as well as there is quite humid and so to say salty. And all these aspects have to bear in mind. They have to bear in mind, the team, and they need at least few 100,000 kilometers on the test tracks to try it back and forth, so they can say or they can certify it. So a lot of that is already done, of course. But what is more is that preparing for serial production in 2020, the company conducted research into the European and Middle Eastern market and identified the most suitable vehicle models for serial production. And what they found out is that the most in-demand SkyWay passenger models was the Unicar with a capacity of 6 people or more, and the Unibus with a capacity of over 48 people. And also the freight direction was represented by the Unicont for transporting sea containers, which is also very cool. And they actually are currently building the track for the sea containers. So basically, we do not need any more the trucks to take the sea containers and drive them through cities and so on. But basically, we can build a track, for example, from a certain port where the ships come with the cargo, and from there on, they can transport it with one route. So basically, no people can see or feel the impact of the trucks driving. In comparison of the trucks driving in the cities. And also the intellectual property, they said that basically Unitsky String Technologies obtained 26 new international patents and registered 13 trademarks. So the company also confirmed and renewed its ISO certificate, which is environmental compliance certificate, and it allows to reduce environmental impact while maintaining cost-effective production. And by 2020, the design and production process of SkyWay Transport Solution had been transferred to the 3D experience platform developed by French developers, the Sol Systems. So, and what a 3D experience, you can even Google or YouTube it, putting in the SkyWay 3D experience platform. You can see how they can make every model or every specific element can be displayed in 3D motion there, which makes it much easier to understand the technology and to see what goes where and so on. Oh, and now the 20 to 21. I don't know how many of you have seen it or was watching it, but last year in the end, it took place this great event, New Year Journey, where also I was one presenter. And if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend to go to skyway.capital and log into your account and watch it. And review it again, so to say, because there are the board members whose speeches I recommend you to see, so you can get a glimpse of their ideas and because they know the information inside out. They are with the source all the time and getting the information before everybody else is getting. So they can share some, so to say, secrets, But if you want to know, of course, you have to look it again, or maybe you already saw it. Now let's see what more. SkyWay community has been granted official status on the UST Inc. website, which means that on the website of the company developer of the string transport, Unitsky String Technologies, there has appeared official mention of the SkyWay Community Investment Fund. And this means that Unitsky String Technologies has officially confirmed the SkyWay Community status as a key investment fund, the proceeds of which are flowing to the string transport development. In other words, only those funds that have received the confirmation from Unitsky String Technologies can engage in the string transport investments, and SkyWay Community is one of them. So this gives a lot of security to all our investors, as well as partners. Well, partners usually are investors, but partners are active, which means they are sharing the information, they're sharing the idea, and inviting new members to come on board, make their investments, and get all the benefits that are meant for each investor. Now, and of course later when we get to the dividends, and going to the public market as well. And this here now is very important to know and understand, which also gives much security for all our members, because as you know, financial audit is a document which basically mirrors what are the incomes, what are the incomes, and what are the expenses, where is the money going. And then this makes it all very so people can understand that what is going on with the company, where they have invested, and this is very good to know. And a lot of the strategic planners and big investors are very open to this information, and they are wanting to know that what's going on behind the screens. Now let's move on again into the United Arab Emirates, and this is also very recent news. It was published the 21st of January, so about a week ago, a little bit less. But the SkyWay testing center in Sharjah, located at the Sharjah Research and Technology Park, welcomed the delegations of the United Arab Emirates government and Saudi business, where there were announced plans to build the innovative transport system, the Line, as part of the NEOM Liner City project. And the UAE government delegation was headed by Thani bin Ahmed, who is the Minister of Foreign Trade, and Ahmed Belhoul Al-Falazi, who is the Minister of Business and Small and Medium Enterprises. The Saudi business delegation was headed by John Fatauma, who is the director of ARE, one of the largest engineering and construction companies in the country. And both delegations were accompanied by Hussein Al-Mahmoudi, who is the CEO of STRIP and head of the American University of Sharjah Enterprise, on whose land actually the Sharjah Innovation Center is being built. And the guests showed great commercial interest in the electric elevated transport system and paid attention to the growing interest in the MENA region for the innovative transport complexes that meet the special requirements of the liner cities, in whose creation the MENA region governments are interested. So if before we talked about the project in Sharjah Emirate, about 10 kilometers long, and this line, what I was telling you right now, the NEOM Liner City project, which is called the Line, basically, this is not only 10 kilometers, but tens of kilometers and even hundreds of kilometers, connecting not only one emirate, but different emirates. So there is a huge plans going on in United Arab Emirates, and of course, when time goes on, we all will be enjoying the benefits if Saudis are going to construct it and developing and making this commercial, so to say, servicing people project and servicing goods project, and that means that the profits are starting to come into the project, into the company, which means that we, who are all we investors who have the shares, we will be benefiting as well, because certain amount of incomes belong to the investors, divided by how many shares each person has. Now, this guy on the picture is Christian van de Wijber. He's from Netherlands, and he's the ambassador in Africa, SkyWay ambassador. And he's working very well and very hard in very efficiently in Africa, and mainly in Nigeria. And on 1st to 3rd December in the Nigerian capital Abuja, there was held the second National Transport Summit on the topic Building Sustainable Transport Infrastructure in Nigeria, Opportunities, Innovations and Technologies. And Christian van de Wijber was the guest of the summit and delivered a speech on the presentation of the SkyWay project. Several Nigerian ministers also attended the summit, including the Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amaechi. and Christian managed to talk to Mr. Amici in person and to arrange a business meeting with him. And of course, there is a video also available which was taken at the Transport Summit, and you can see this in your back office. So let's see. What else do we have? Oh yes, the new offer Share New Year is extended until 31st January. So counted days more, 4 more days. And basically this will be the most in this year following this year, in the next months, we will not get this great offer again. So, and this basically is 1 to 100 share discount, which means for every invested dollar, we will receive 100 shares. So if we invest, for example, $1,000 altogether, then we will receive 100,000 shares. And as we know, each share is valued at $1. So basically, when we go to the IPO, to the open market, then the prices of one share will start $1. So this is a great chance to invest. But of course, there are some terms, and this offer can be used by SkyWay personal account users over 55 years of age. And also these partners who have invested personally or raised at least $3,000 in the first line between 1st January 2021 and 31st January 2021. And of course, anyone who has received, also this is great to know, that anyone who has received the coupon for the offer with a 1 to 100 discount as a gift can share this to 3 other person. So if you by any chance got this opportunity, then you can share it with 3 other partners as well. Or if you haven't gotten this, then maybe someone in your upline has this offer, and you can ask him or her to share this with you. But yes, I welcome you to the 21st century, and I see we have a little bit more time. So I will tell you more about now, nothing more the news, but about the brief history. So first of all, how it all started. And this is the man, Anatoly Unitsky. And more than 40 years ago, actually, the first publications were made by him, the first sketches. And on the left side, you can see the first real life test demo. The Russian SIL war machine was filled inside and out with different wires and equipment to test it and record testings as well. And of course, now we have something totally different. Anatoly Unitsky has a lot of different patents, diplomas, awards, and all these can be seen on his personal website, which was made also, well, not so recently, but in the second half last year. In the second half. Yes, and now back to the recent times. 2015 was the beginning of construction of Eco TechnoPark. So 5 years, 5 years ago, everything that we can now see started, because basically 5 years ago there was only an empty land plot, the tank polygon in Belarus, where they started the first constructions. And already 2 years ago, the first certified models were created or done, so to say. The Unibus and Unibike, they received the certification for Russian and Belarus standards. And here you can see some the main models. We have Unibus. Up there you can see the high-speed Unibus, which goes up to 500 to 600 kilometers. Uniwind is behind them, and the Unicar you can see also, which is used in United Arab Emirates, but in tropical version you can see on the line, which is my favorite as well. That one most behind at the screen. This is the high-speed Unibus premiere, which took place at the Innotrans in 2018. And yes, this is the one which goes up to 600 kilometers per hour. I've seen this one driving as well on the route already 2 years ago when there was this Eco Fest. Because last year, as we know, the Eco Fest was cancelled due to coronavirus. But before that 1 year, then I saw it, of course, not at the speed 500 kilometers per hour, but it was driving quite slowly, but just to demonstrate it. And a few years ago, also the beginning of construction of Sharjah Innovation Center began. So, as we understand now, quite fast have they done a great achievements already there. And this is how it will how this will look like in the near future. And here are some pictures of me and Estonian partners. And on the right side, you can see the first ever built wooden house in United Arab Emirates as well. This also shows how great relations Unitsky and SkyWay has with their government there to allow them. This was a special permission which allowed them to build this amazing wooden house, eco house. And this eco house is what the word means. The eco is that it maintains everything, or it produces everything it needs itself, the electricity, water, and so on. And it will be also one product. 2019 was the year when this one, actually, I told you also earlier that the 15-kilometer route, which was announced in Dubai, and basically this will connect the main business centers or the main malls as well. And 2020, this was last year. In the end of the last year, we received another news that we will start certification of Unibus in Europe. So under the European laws, yes, and this basically means that we have already, as I also said earlier, that we have the certification center, and we have certified multiple models already under the Russian and Belarus standards, as well as Kazakhstan and the other eastern countries go there. And also we have the Tropical Climate Center in United Arab Emirates to certify under those laws and specifications. But in Europe, we still do not have any demonstration park where we could certify for its standards. But now we will have the process moving on, and we have started the certification of Unibus under European standards, which is a very great news. And I'm positive that we will hear more about it in the near future. And in the end, I always like to share this picture because it gives a great positive energy towards all of us. And this was taken a few years ago when Anatoly Unitsky visited Dalai-lama residence. And I remember that Unitsky said that, the people who were with him, that Dalai-lama tied a red bracelet around his hand, around Anatoly Unitsky, and said this will protect him. Of course, he also added that of course it will be hard for you to be successful with this project, because as we know, the transportation, the area or sector, transportation sector, is very hard to come and just, the governments need a lot of evidence, and a lot of proof is needed that it works and so on, and the competition is very heavy, as well as the bureaucracy, and and it will be hard. Dalai-lama said to Unitsky, but you will be successful in the end. And as we know by the history that this hasn't been a very easy path for Anatoly Unitsky. Multiple times there has been problems, and with each different kind of possible ways that one could imagine. But Anatoly Unitsky eventually has succeeded in each of these problems and came out as a winner. So we will see a great achievements of his ideas in the near future in the world. All right, we have come to an end with today's webinar, and the next webinar in English will be on 10th of February in 2 weeks at the same time, and the topic will be SkyWay technology presentation and the latest news as today. And we will, let's see what will happen within these 2 weeks, what new news we will receive, and let's talk more about the technology itself as well next time. So I thank you very much, all of you, for coming to today's webinar, and hope to see you next time, and also bring and invite new members as well, so they could hear it all with their own ears as well, and then get the glimpse what they are missing if they will not be on board. So yes, thank you very much, and wish you a successful week, not weekend yet, but a successful week, and of course stay healthy. Goodbye.